Okay. Have you been having a ton of fun in the gardens lately?
Yeah, Heidi, I would say I really enjoy being in the garden regardless of what's happening.
Yep.
But like, there are days when I come in and I think, I don't want to go back out tomorrow.
Gardening is a lot of work,
hmm
and you have to be passionate about it, and you have to have patience
Yeah,
because you're going to plant those seeds, you're going to plant those plants, and it's going to be a while before you reap the benefits.
that's right. Yeah. And then you also have to just go with the flow sometimes, I think. Like,
Yep.
you're going to have ups and downs.
Yep.
Every
Not everything's
season's
going to be
different.
successful,
Yeah.
but there's going to be amazing successful things. And you're going to learn from the things that weren't successful so that hopefully the next year you can.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I always find there's new challenges every year that you're like, I've got this, I'm good. And then the next year it's like, oh no, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Like,
and that happens no matter how long you've been gardening.
yeah.
You could have been, and you could be new, you can be doing it for 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like we've been doing it for 20 years or more.
Yes.
And we're still constantly having challenges.
Yes.
And today in particular, we are going to talk about the garden pests, as in the bugs.
Yes.
The bugs that are finding their way into your garden.
Yeah, there's a plethora of them, but we'll talk about like maybe more of the common ones.
Yeah, for Southwestern Ontario.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that we are seeing quite prevalent on our stuff.
Yeah, or people have questions about constantly, like, Sarah, what about this? What about that? And like some of them, like I have, other people don't experience, maybe because I grow in different quantities or different.
Even from like I used to live a few roads over, and I have different pests than I did back then. So,
right. Yeah, it's all kind of localized, maybe.
Yeah. It just depends what's in that soil.
Yeah. Or not.
What's in that environment, or what's flying by.
That's right. Yeah.
What season it is, what year it is.
Yeah.
Because some years have a bigger pest, a certain pest that is more prevalent than other years.
That's right, for sure.
Goes in stages too.
Yeah, and I find that's the hard part, right? It's like you learn so much about one pest, but then you might not see it for like several years after that. So you have to like retrain yourself. Okay, what do we do? How do we manage this? Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about natural ways to deal with the pests.
Yeah, spraying is always an option. Like chemical agriculture is always an option. It's there. But we're going to talk about ways to like, deal with it.
Get rid of it in a small backyard garden.
That's right. Yeah. So
let's talk about the brassicas because they just love bugs. So that's like your cauliflower, your broccoli,
cabbages, bok choys in that family, like all of, like kohlrabi a lot of the times too will get it. Those are all the brassicas technically. Yeah.
So what's disturbing those?
Most of the time it's the green worms, right? A lot of people get them. They fly in, so they're like
white moss. When you start seeing the white moss appear,
they're not good moss.
No, they look pretty, but that means that's a warning to you.
That's a warning. Yeah. So they start off as a moth, the cabbage looper or the cabbage worm starts off as a moth, flying through your garden. It's laying little eggs. Those eggs turn into caterpillars, and then we've got a big problem.
Yeah, they're starting to chew your leaves.
They're
hiding in the broccoli.
Yeah. So they usually come out like around here, like you start watching them maybe early June, you'll start seeing them, and then through July. They have different life cycles, but like you'll start seeing the moths then. So then okay, game on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Well, for the cabbage moth, so there's two things that we're doing on the farm is we cover all of our brassicas with insect netting, but for multiple insects, not just for the cabbage moth. So that's what we're doing. But then as we start harvesting, we have to remove the covers because it's just, on and off, off. So then we're starting to spray with BTK, which is a biological spray. So yes, we're still spraying, but it's a safe, natural spray. Yeah. And we're spraying at least once a week through the whole season. The nice thing about BTK is it also covers just not brassicas. It'll cover other
pests. We'll mention it in some of the other pests that we're doing.
Yeah.
And that is going after leaf eating insects? Is that
Yeah, I would say that's
chemicals?
yeah,
Yeah. When
yeah.
they're eating the leaf, they're getting the
Yeah, they're eating it
yeah,
too, and then
ingesting it.
yeah. So that's the biggest one for the cabbages, broccoli brassica family, I would say. The other one that you might find in that family too, early in the season, is flea beetle, which is little tiny black beetle, and they'll hop around. As soon as you touch the leaf, they'll just jump often, and they will decimate like little tiny seedlings a lot of the time. So
Oh.
yeah, they love bok choy. They love anything in the Brassica. Arugula. They love arugula. Yeah.
So getting that netting as soon as those seedlings appear.
Oh, not even
like as soon as you plant.
As soon as you
You're
plant,
going
get it
to
on.
get that netting on.
Yeah, because they live in the ground too, and
Okay.
they're so tiny that if you don't get a really, really thick woven insect netting, they'll just go right through. We've been having problems with them over the last several years. So you can use actually nematode spray the ground, and then those nematodes will go into the ground and they'll eat the pests. But oftentimes we use insect netting because it's just, they're everywhere. So you can also use the companion plants to help, or trap crops, but a lot of times we just end up with the netting because we know it's safe.
Yeah.
We can continue with the other control methods as well, but yeah, like you can't risk it. I mean, you can eat leaves, like wholly leaves of arugula are fine if you're eating in the garden by yourself, but if you're trying to sell that, it's like a totally different. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that's both of us sell things from our gardens, so we want as little holes as possible.
Yeah.
But for a backyard garden, holes are not totally bad.
No, they're not. No.
But also like worms in your broccoli and having to like get those all out, not fun either.
Not fun either. Yeah. But that's being said, I've grown a lot of broccoli with worms in it and never sprayed, and that's fine. You just know when you go into the kitchen that that's something that's probably going to be there, right?
Yes,
yeah. So just put them in salt water and get those worms out. Yeah. So.
And you said about companion planting. We'll talk a little bit about that because that will help all of these things.
Certainly, especially like marigolds is a really popular one, and it's great because it emits a smell. The chrysanthemum family emits that pyrethroid smell, and the pests don't like it, so it does help. Big time.
Nice. So doing some research further on those things and what you can be planting beside other plants that will detract.
Yeah, but we could do a whole episode on companion planting. So
that's a good idea for the future. But so do your research. That is another option to get rid of the pests. Now, the next big one I have on our farm is the cucumbers and squash.
Oh, the little cucumber beetles.
Yes,
that's not a fun one.
My zucchini plants, like it's supposed to be like zucchini you can grow like no problem. Our last house, no problem, not a single pest. This one, I have every single thing that likes the squash family is on my zucchini.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I do is I succession plant the zucchini. So I'll plant some, I'll harvest as much as I can until the bugs have taken over. Meanwhile, I've already planted some further away so that when I have to pull these out and I throw them into the fire pit so that it's not adding bugs into my compost or anything. And then the other zucchini will be ready over there. And then, that's growing. I got something planted somewhere else. So I constantly have zucchini. I've just had to replant it more often.
And that's what we do too, actually, Heidi. Instead of trying to like navigate getting them out, or like you can use sticky traps or pheromones, or you can use, we used to use like yellow Solo cups, and because they're the same color as the flower, and then put Vaseline around them and they get stuck. But we always found too, like when it's a really windy day, the sand or the dirt will kick up and then the whole trap's just sand. So we do the same thing as you. We just plant staggered plantings because we know their plants are going to die, and that's okay. Like everything has a life cycle, and not everything has to be perfect in the garden all summer long. And I think that's something that as a new time gardener, you kind of get down on yourself about, because like, oh no, it's dying off. I'm like, well, mine died 2 weeks ago. Like you're doing great.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. So I think that's a big thing. And then, but same for, so the zucchini, like little squash beetle, the yellow striped one that you're talking about. Yeah. And then we also have that one that does attack the cucumbers as well. So
Okay.
so same thing. We have successions of cucumbers if we want later season cucumbers. That's all we do.
And then we have the vine borer.
Vine borer, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a harder one to control too. It'll bore. So the cucumber beetle really just affects the plant. It sends disease, but the borer actually gets into the stem of the vine, and it will like ruin it'll feed off the stem, so it just ruins the plant. So that one is a tough one too. Like I know it's there. Some of my plants are gonna die, but I don't do a lot unless I have a huge infestation. Which by the end of the season can be bad. But like by then, my melons, for instance, I'll get into my melons. My melons are already fruiting. They look good. I'm like a week away from harvesting, so then I don't really worry about it too much.
Yeah.
If it's like my winter crops, I will watch it, monitor it, and then maybe later in the season I'll spray some soap or like a safer soap or something like that. But again, same thing. I just let it be. Yeah.
And the darn Japanese beetles.
Yeah.
They kind of find their way on random things, your raspberry bushes, your orchards,
the beans.
It's they a few ways to do that. Hand picking, which you could do for all of the bugs that we're talking about,
For sure.
is definitely an option. Is just like picking them, flicking them into soapy water, so that it will kill them. Otherwise, just throwing them into a bucket of water and then dumping it to your chickens, because the chickens would enjoy that feast.
Yeah, they like insects.
That's with all the pests. They would love if you just shared all the pests that you gathered.
I agree.
Now there's a pheromone trap for the Japanese beetle, which sends off a pheromone to attract the Japanese beetle into its trap.
And these traps you can get anywhere. Like they're really common. Yeah.
But as both of us have figured out, it doesn't just attract the ones that are on the plant.
I feel like it attracts all of them from miles around. It's like a beacon. Like
I feel like we're inundated. Have more than we would normally. So we've both moved away from that. Right now.
We'll see. I mean, knock on wood. Like we're not like not causing a problem,
and I did see them in my orchard, quite a bit of them in the orchard, and then I didn't get to them right away, and like about a few days later when I did have time, I didn't see a single one. So there is ways of them moving on. I guess just like the hand picking, the pheromones,
you can spray them too. Wait it out. Oftentimes, like I know for the beans and the raspberries, it's okay. They eat the leaves, but they don't eat my beans. So it's impacting maybe some of the yield, but not tremendous problem.
Not enough to spend the time.
Exactly. So I just kind of let it go, and then eventually they'll move on to something else. I mean, if they're eating my raspberries, then okay, I've got maybe a problem. But same with the raspberry leaves. Like by the time I'm like, well, oh well.
Okay, and the potato bug.
Oh, gross. I hate this one.
Your potato plants, they get these nice little bugs.
I hate the larvae stages, like the little red ones. They're like little slugs.
And they can decimate a plant pretty quickly.
Oh,
Like, they come out of nowhere.
They do. And the little eggs on the underside of the leaves, so you gotta be looking, right? They also attack my eggplant too.
Okay, I've seen them a little bit on that.
So also look for your eggplant. We pick them off. Put them in a bucket of water and drown them or squish them or whatever. So that's all we really do.
That's the best preventive. There is sprays out there, but that is, they're usually not, like once you've gone through a couple times by hand, they're pretty much
they're done.
gone.
Like the life cycle's done. So you're just gonna be on top of it right away and then
stop it. Stop it early, which means for all of these, make sure at least once a day, either in the morning, in the evening, sometime, you're just walking through all of your gardens and just looking. At the same time, you can be looking like, hey, my zucchini needed to be harvested 3 days ago. Whoops. But checking for pests, because if you can get them early on,
Usually they're not a problem later.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make sure you know like your beneficials and your non-beneficials.
Yeah, that's a challenging one too. Not every bug is a bad bug.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because if like in our apple orchard, we had the caterpillars coming, and we did pick by hand for a couple days, but after that, the beneficial bugs moved in, and they were the ones that were sucking the life out of the caterpillars.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of beneficials. Ladybug.
Yeah, the ladybug's a big one. Yeah.
Spiders.
Yeah. 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 We haven't talked about this pest yet, but the hornworm, tomato hornworm.
Yes, that's a good one for the tomatoes.
Yeah, yeah, but also with the hornworm, so we can talk about hornworm specifically, but also it has a parasitoid, so it's like a little moth fly that comes along and lays the eggs on the back of the hornworm.
Yes.
And then it parasitizes the hornworm itself, so it dies. So we see that happen every year. It's so exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So this is like a big green worm, and you won't notice it. You'll notice that your tomato plant is missing leaves.
Yeah, huge leaves. It looks like it's all stripped.
Yeah,
like someone came along and
do
just
it
cut
very fast.
Yeah.
And it takes you a while to find the worm quite often because it blends in really well.
Yeah.
It's the color of the leaves.
Yeah, but it can be big too. Like the size of your finger.
Huge.
Like yes.
It
has a little horn on the top of its head.
Yeah. They're quite the alien looking thing.
They are. Yeah.
But once you found it, great. Get rid of it. Also, the chickens love them, so throw it to the chickens.
Or squish them. Yeah.
But then you see those little white things on it, and you're like, yay, the predators have moved in and are taking care of the problem.
So that's a great way that nature is already taking care of it. You don't have to really worry about it. I mean, obviously they're decimating your plant, pick them off, but like that you're trusting that something's going to come along and deal with that. Yeah. Same with the aphids too, Heidi. Like the ladybugs, like you mentioned, are great for the aphids. And we had this problem actually this year. So we're trying to mitigate the cabbage worm by using our insect netting. But what that has been doing is creating this beautiful environment for the aphids because there's no other pests that can get to them. Like there's no, So the ladybugs can't get to the aphids. So now all of a sudden we have this huge aphid problem and no ladybugs attacking. So we actually had to pull back the row cover, like the insect netting. And then we waited a couple of days. We could see the ladybugs. We could see them coming in, which was great. But like obviously at that point too, we knew we were going to have a problem because we had to harvest like the day after and there was just like aphids everywhere. So we did spray soap to like take care of the aphids that were there. But it's like one strategy of like trying to protect a plant is causing another pest.
So to multiply. Wow.
Yeah. But it's an example of Mother Nature, how it already is kind of protecting its using those beneficials. It's just not always the right host environment when you're
Yep. Both of us don't have a real problem with slugs, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They like the damp soil.
Shady environments. Also, we have a lot of like leaf matter or like composted material underneath. So making sure it's dry underneath that plant, getting the airflow. So we prune a lot, like low pruning, especially with the lettuces too. They're really along the ground. The slugs will get underneath. So make sure you don't overwater. I think that's the big thing for slugs. If you're having problems with slugs, don't overwater.
Soil not too moist.
And
then some ways to get rid of the slug would be diatomaceous earth, sprinkling that on the ground of the plants, wood ash, eggshells.
Really fine eggshells. Anything like that will help to deter them. They don't like scraping their insides. That's a good one for slugs.
I think those are the main bugs. I have had grubs in the past. I talked about it in a past episode where we bring kids into the garden. We had a ton of grubs in the soils, and every time I dug, there was grubs. And I just brought my daughter out, and every time I would dug a hole, there was grubs. She'd grab them. And we had bucket loads of them for the chickens for a while. And then all of a sudden they were gone. So, and I also mentioned one time where I had a challenge for the kids. They all had a jar. They had to find the biggest pest in the garden. They got a prize for the most pests they found and the most variety of pests. So they just went through the gardens and they collected all these things and came back and my pest problem was gone.
Yeah.
So you can make it fun too. Get the family out and go around picking the bugs. And then there's also the BTK and spraying soapy water. Doing your companion planting.
Just like different mechanical practices. So like you mentioned, Heidi, with the grubs, a lot of the time, like if you disturb that soil, or with the slugs too, like getting the airflow. So hoeing, if you're not doing a no-till bed, like changing the environment, and often changes the pest.
Okay.
So there's lots of strategies like that we use, like get the airflow going, or dry out the soil, or add more water, or just different strategies like that will definitely help.
Awesome. So there's just a little, some little tips that we've learned along the way on how to naturally get rid of those pests. Good luck as you progress into the rest of the summer. We're halfway through there. All the best with tackling those bugs that are trying to eat the food before you do. Okay, so we've got an exciting event coming up, and it's for you, our listeners, on November 8th.
We're going to do a simmer and share, Heidi.
We're going to do some broth making, and we are going to share some homesteading tips and a little bit more about us, and we want to learn about you, our listeners. So make sure you save the date, November 8th, 10 a.m. We will have more information about how to register coming soon.